Hey guys, since there are obviously no sports going on right now, I thought it would be a good time to make a video talking about some of my favorite football shows and just recommend some football-based shows for you guys to watch, give you that little sports fix, even if it's fictional in some of these recommendations. Some of them are documentary-based. They're all really good. So I didn't make this all sports because I'm actually looking for more basketball shows to watch besides The Last Dance, obviously. So if anyone has any basketball show recommendations, if you want to let me know in the comments down below, I would really appreciate that. So these shows are just in a random order. They're not in like best to worst. I don't even know if I have a favorite on this list. I just really like them all and they all bring something unique to the table. Let's kick things off with a legendary show here. Friday Night Lights, what a classic. Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. So I was honestly really late to the Friday Night Lights party. I just finished it in February, so just like a few months ago. So I'm assuming some of you have seen this show, but if you haven't seen it, it's about football in Texas. The main character is Coach Eric Taylor, the head football coach, in his life and his players' life and their team. So of course it's gonna cover on the field stuff and off the field drama as well. Honestly, I really loved this show. I'm probably gonna start rewatching it soon because I don't know, I rewatch a lot of shows. But the football aspect, obviously great. That's what made me start watching the show. But the characters are almost even better. I love so many of the characters in this show. You just really, I don't know, like you care about them when you finish the show. There are just so many good characters. It's not just like, oh, that's one good character. Almost all the characters are just great. So at some points you're like, oh, writers, what are you doing with this storyline? But really that was just one kind of big storyline, and I believe the second season, you'll know when you get there, you're just gonna be like, what is going on? Like, this doesn't make sense. You'll know that's the bad storyline, but just get past that storyline and then it's all good. So the next show is All or Nothing, and I describe this as a regular season Hard Knocks. And speaking of Hard Knocks, I didn't put Hard Knocks on this list because I feel like everyone watches Hard Knocks live during the end of the summer. It's not really something people go back and watch. But I would describe this as a regular season Hard Knocks because it documents an NFL team each season from about like week 1 till the end of the season. So you really get to see, what they go through during the season, what the expectations are. Do they fall short of the expectations? What are the obstacles along the way? What are some of these players like off the field? You get to know more about some of the front office people, like the GMs. I think the Cardinals season was my personal favorite. I think that was season 1. I really enjoyed that season. They also have a season for Michigan football, college football. I haven't watched that yet, but I really do like All or Nothing. It's on Amazon, so you can watch all the episodes at once. You really do become fans of players that you wouldn't have necessarily become fans of without the show, because the show kind of shows them off the field too, and you get to know more about them as people. I really do feel like I've drafted some players in fantasy just because I've seen them on the show, and I've been like in between a player that was on the show and a player that wasn't on the show, and I'm like, oh, I'll go with my guy, like, player whatever, because he was on the show. So yeah, it's another good show. I know the next show on this list a ton of people are fans of, and that is Last Chance U. So this is another documentary style show. It's so far documented 2 JUCO football programs, and this show is really well done in all aspects. The storylines, obviously great. These players are so interesting, but the cinematography is so great, and how they set the music to certain parts in the show and how it's really put together and edited is also just another amazing aspect. But obviously the football and the football storylines and the player storylines are what keep you watching and what keep you wanting to binge it, really. So I started the first EMCC season a while ago, and I don't really remember it. I only watched a few episodes, but recently I decided to watch both indie seasons. I really liked season 1. Season 2, not as much, but I'm definitely going to go back and rewatch that first EMCC season and watch the second EMCC season. The next show is not documentary style. It has actors in it, and that is All American. So this has been a super popular show over the past month or so. As soon as it hit Netflix, it's on the CW, but I've only watched it on Netflix. Like, I've watched season 1 and then waited for season 2 to come out on Netflix, even though season 2 was like out on the CW website. I just like watching on Netflix. But this show is actually based loosely on Spencer Paysinger's life, who actually played for the Giants, so yeah, he was an NFL player. So the story follows a standout high school wide receiver from Crenshaw, whose name is Spencer, of course. He basically gets recruited to play for the fancy Beverly Hills High School. So of course, just like Friday Night Lights, it tells a story of on-the-field stuff as well as off-the-field drama. So sometimes, yeah, you're gonna get those like cheesy high school show vibes, but I also feel like that's what makes you want to binge it more at points, if that makes sense. So I really like the show. I watched it pretty quickly, and if you start it, you'll probably finish it pretty quickly because it's on Netflix and it's really easy to binge, and I think the storyline is super bingeable. The last show on my list is QB1. So this is another documentary style show, and it documents the season of 3 senior high school quarterbacks each year. So far there's 3 seasons, so it's a total of 9 quarterbacks that have been on the show. Again, like most of these shows, you get to see on the field stuff as well as who they are off the field and what their life is like off the field. It's actually funny because in season 1, one of the quarterbacks they documented was Jake Fromm, and he just got drafted. But yeah, I think season 2 might have been my favorite. I'm almost done with season 3, and honestly, I don't remember much about season 1. But it's another show I think any football fan will enjoy. Alright guys, that's all I got for this video. Like I said, I don't even know if I have a favorite. I just really like all of these shows. Let me know in the comments down below if you plan on watching any of these or if you've seen any of these shows. That's it for this video, guys. Peace out.